Going live. You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be testing Killing Floor 3 on the Steam Deck, thanks to Tripwire Interactive for providing a code of the game. And well, if you're watching this, you are either live watching me speak, or this is an edited video at the end that, well, this live stream was chopped off to become a video. So how's it going, guys? People that are live, welcome. So, I played Killing Floor 3 a moment ago on my PC. It's Unreal Engine 5. It got recently an update that was for quality of life and performance stuff. So I was like, okay, I have to wait for this update. And here I am. So, yeah, what's going on with this game? Well, it's Unreal Engine 5. It's gold on ProtonDB. That means that it works on Linux, despite having easy anti-cheat, so that's good to see. And yep, there's no rating for some reason. This game has been out for 3 months and there's no rating, which is weird. So yeah, let's launch it like this and see what happens. But it's UE5. Ugh, UE5. Oh my god! Please help us. Here we go. Okay, easy anti-cheat. Easy anti-cheat in this case is greenlit to work on Linux. And by default is Proton 9 point something. We'll see if there is any issues. But on PC it runs horribly bad, despite the update. Okay, nothing is happening. Okay. Tripwire. Let's see the shader compilation at the beginning. It's longer than it was before, that's what I noticed. But here we go. Does the Steam Deck use the 780M iGPU? No, it uses a custom chip. It's called Aerith. Okay, it compiles shaders super quickly because they're probably pre-downloaded with the Steam client. This is one of the huge benefits, in my opinion. This on PC took like 4 minutes. Here it's going like Sonic. But still, the CPU is crying a little bit. But it's good that they put a longer shader compilation to avoid stutters. But we'll see how it goes once we actually start shooting stuff. But it's not the 780M iGPU. There we go. Loading data. Okay, here we go. Fingers crossed. We'll see what the default settings are. It's probably low. Okay, 800p. Medium draw distance and everything on low. Okay, everything on low means no shadows though, but that's okay, it's a Steam Deck. And lumen global illumination. Let's turn that off. Okay, balanced XeSS. Okay. I think I'll put everything on low to start and see what happens. Yeah, the soundtrack, although feels very uninspired to me. I forgot to put some text at the top. 1 second. Oof. There's some stuttering going on though, in the background. The CPU is maxed out. Anyway. 800p with XeSS. Balanced. I'm not convinced, but a low settings. Wish me luck. There's also TSR. That's probably going to be the best option. but basically low. Yeah, the video in the background is frozen. Maybe there's an issue with the video encoding with this Proton version. Wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, it's trying to be like a Doom soundtrack, but the licensed music worked better in the previous one. Okay. So with low and XeSS balanced. Okay. Let me unlock the frame rate before I forget. Okay, so far here is fine, but remember there is no shadows, no actual real-time shadows, no global illumination, which I can very easily notice, and no reflections either. So here we're basically using potato settings to get a higher frame rate. We'll see if that's possible. Let's see if potato actually works for us. But again, UE5 on Steam Deck, I usually need to do something like this. On a small screen I wouldn't mind low setting at 60, same. The thing is, can we actually hold 60? Because here there's nothing to shoot. But here we go. Although I'll use the fire weapons, just to crush it a bit harder. But let's see, usually, apart from GPU, hold up, firebug. Usually the CPU is what destroys me in UE5 stuff on Steam Deck. It doesn't look bad. I was expecting where it was without lumen. Although it's a bit too dark. Not sure if you guys agree with that. But hey, this is low. Doesn't look so bad. A bit soft. XeSS has that problem. Yeah, definitely soft. Well, let's see once fire starts showing up. Oh no, there's actual shadows from some light sources. Okay, yeah, as expected, the CPU is kind of crying right now. Ooh. Yeah, probably the fire. Not a coincidence. But maybe you can lock it to 45 or something. But it drops pretty hard when I get fire on screen. Does using the flashlight help at all? I haven't used it. Oh, I forgot there was a flashlight. My bad. It doesn't cast shadows though, but that's fine. I completely forgot about the flashlight. Yeah, but it drops pretty hard as soon as stuff starts happening. Yeah. I mean, there were already stutters on PC, but here they are more pronounced, to say it in some way. Yeah, the beta ran even worse than this. I tried the beta on Steam Deck. The beta, even without Lumen, I was unable to even get 30 FPS. So, at least that's an improvement I can notice, as a minimum. Let me check if there's another non-fire weapon. Not cheap. But I think this is more of a 40-something FPS game. Yeah, I thought it was going to look worse. It doesn't look that bad. The stutters are the main problem, I'd say. Well, when fire shows up like this. Again, I'm doing fire on purpose. Fire weapons, because that fills the screen with effects. That's kind of the purpose. But I was expecting like 20 FPS after seeing it running on PC. And thank you so much, Spencer Walker, for the $6.66 US donation. He says, did you see the Steam Deck beta update for downloads when the screen is off? Yes, I haven't tried it, but I saw it on Twitter. So if you guys want to know what news I actually read, you can follow me on Twitter, which I didn't put the link in the description. I should. But yeah, I saw it and I was like, freaking finally! Took them long enough. So I'm super happy about that feature. I haven't tried it myself. I'll wait for it to get to the stable channel. But that's something that we've been asking for since the beginning. So I'm happy to see that they are finally working on it. Does XeSS look better than FSR here? On this game, yes, I think so. I haven't tried TSR though. TSR sometimes does a better job. So I'm going to check that. Let's see TSR super quick. TSR. Oh, here we use percentages. Okay. Balance will be 57%, yeah. Sounds about right. TSR balanced, which is 57. With low settings. Let's see. Ooh, no. This looks bad. Has a lot of shimmering issues. Especially with the highlights. Yeah, no, here I think XeSS makes more sense. This one is hard to explain. It's like as soon as I'm moving the camera, there's ghosting and flickering around everything. Similar to what the RE Engine upscaler uses, like the interlace filter, I think it was called. It's something like that. It's super... yeah, it's very chunky. Oof. And what's up now? With the CPU, what's the CPU doing? Maybe it's because I use all the memory. Wow, that was bad.
Got him.
You can see the pixelation? Wow. It's so bad that you can see it on a stream. And FSR, let's do FSR now that we're here. What about FSR? Okay, FSR has ghosting. Definitely. So instead of the chunky pixelation, we have some weird, exaggerated ghosting. When something is moving. Yeah, I can see it on the characters. So definitely XeSS is the way to go on this one. TSR is too pixelated, weird looking. FSR is chunky and has ghosting. And XeSS is okay. It works. Yeah. XeSS for the win on this one. There it goes. So XeSS is definitely the way to go. No way around it on this one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely way better in motion, which is what matters. So personally, I think I could go a bit higher if I was targeting 30 FPS, but I would keep it like this on low, just due to the fact that, yeah, I need some room to spare to keep 45 or 40 with some drops here and there. It's probably going to be even harder to do this on those foliage heavy maps. There's a couple of them. Yeah. You play Expedition 33 from start to end on your Steam Deck, and the game is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, yeah, I agree. It's my game of the year so far. But do you run it with the Steam Deck preset or without it? Because with the Steam Deck preset I noticed that the Manor doesn't have lighting on Steam Deck on Expedition 33. I found it interesting. Oof. Yeah, it drops pretty bad. Yeah, personally, so far with what I'm seeing, I'll lock it to 40. Could you go higher? Probably. But I'll lock it to 30 if I went higher. You played with default settings and had a blast. So the Manor did have lighting on yours. Because in the Manor there was basically no lighting for me. It was completely... yeah, no light at all. And now we use fire. But yeah, if you haven't already played it, play Expedition 33. Masterpiece. This is the only game I have physical on PS5. Yeah, I think this is more of a 40 FPS endeavor so far. I really do need to try the map with a lot of foliage. That one is the real test. Which would you recommend, ROG Ally or Steam Deck? I mean, it depends. Are you willing to install Bazzite or SteamOS on the ROG Ally? Then probably the ROG Ally is way more performant. Windows, I'm not a huge fan of Windows on the go, personally. Just putting the device to sleep is not consistent. With SteamOS or Bazzite, you can put the device to sleep and pick up where you left off. So it really depends. Also, the ROG Ally Non-X has a very small battery, so I would do the battery mod. But when it comes to performance, it's way faster, without a doubt. You bought Expedition 33 entire soundtrack. This is the first game you did that for. Understandable. I listen to it all the time. Okay. Let me try the in-game FPS cap very quickly. Into the 40s. I cannot do this without a mouse, really. There we go. 40s. Now let's see what happens. So 800p, low everything, no lumen, no reflections, unbalanced text CSS because it's the best looking upscaler so far. What do you think of GTA 6 getting delayed yet again? I think it makes sense, unfortunately. Considering what I've been seeing about the development in Rockstar Games, I'm not surprised. It's probably super crunchy to work there. In a bad way. Not good crunchy, but bad crunch. Well, the in-game FPS cap is not great. As you can see, the frame times are not super consistent. I'll lock it to 40 using the SteamOS thing here. I cannot do it due to the capture card, so imagine I'm using the SteamOS FPS lock. But this should help you to get it a little bit easier on the CPU. The game will still stutter though, it's not perfect. And if you use a lot of fire weapons, it's going to drop a bit harder even. But with balanced upscaling, it seems to be okay so far. No, I don't think development hell is something that will happen to GTA 6. It's going to release at some point. It's the biggest game in the world. It's just they're fighting for unionizing, and Rockstar is basically laying off people that are trying to unionize. Apparently that's what's going on. I don't know for sure. What? They blew up the door while it was open? Okay. Let's pretend that didn't happen. So yeah, I'm guessing that's why they delayed it. Maybe there was a lot of people complaining, developers. And without the developers, you cannot build the game. So who knows? But I'm pretty sure the game is going to release eventually. You're yet to play Expedition 33, you recently got into liking turn-based games. Yeah, I tried it actually after playing Persona 3 and parts of Persona 5. And I was like, oh man, another turn-based game, awesome. And now it's hard to play Persona again because I want the parry mechanic to be on everything. But it's a great game. I highly recommend it. Yeah, consistency is way better with the 40 FPS lock. Not surprising. It was the CPU that was crying. But again, the bigger test will be once we get into that map with foliage, which I'm going to go after this one. And maybe a higher difficulty, so there's more enemies. Yeah, I think that's a better idea. Wave complete. Oh, wrong button. Let's go to the other map. Expedition 33 fixed the biggest problem with JRPGs by having you playing a part in your opponent's turn. Yep. Basically. I cannot really play it in with my brain turned off, like in other JRPGs. It actually requires me to pay attention. Radar station. This is the one that dropped pretty hard when I got close to foliage.
Alright, we're officially on the clock.
Is there motion blur in settings? Yep, there is. In this case, it would be helpful. I don't know how aggressive motion blur is in this game, but let me get to this demanding map and I'm going to try it. Yeah, it can help if it doesn't have if it doesn't blur the entire screen. One of those nice per object motion blurs, like in Doom. Doom Eternal does a great job with that. Yeah, motion blur can break with upscalers. Can break the image quite a bit. But it's a post-processing effect. It can affect performance. But again, if they just check the box to make it work, then it's probably not going to be great. Okay, let's see. Moment of truth. Let's go outside. Yeah, in a harder difficulty and online matches is probably going to drop harder, which is why I'm going to go after that first. Sorry, later, not first. Right after this, it will be an online match. But if I can drop it pretty hard just playing on my own, then online is going to be a nightmare. I'm not finding the section that I dropped FPS on PC. It's probably on that other side.
You're a quarter way through.
But so far I think this is the best way to play it. As weird as it sounds. Yeah, 6 players is probably going to make it cry. Here we go. This is the part I was looking for. Here you get a bit more foliage close to the camera and grass and stuff. We take a look around. No, it seems to be fine. It's probably because the foliage is on low. Okay. So, right after this I'm going to be playing online. That's the only way to make sure. But as you can see, as soon as I engage the enemies, the CPU cries. So it's going to cry further online with more people doing stuff. Yeah, basically co-op. That's what I'm trying to say, yeah. I mean, just imagine this that I'm doing multiplied by 3 or 4, or even 5 more people. That would be a great test. If it survives that, then I wouldn't have an issue recommending it if you already own it. But again, the game itself, not a big fan. Here I'm just trying to see how it goes on Steam Deck. Maybe there is PvP on this one. I remember that in Killing Floor 2 there was, I think. I don't remember. I never played those modes in games like this. I usually stick to co-op, not with PvP. But many of the games like this usually have a mode where you can be a monster or something. On this one, I don't know. Had PvP Killing Floor 2, but not much people playing that mode. Not surprised. Yeah, the big thing on Killing Floor 2 was endless mode, I remember. That this game doesn't have, by the way. No endless mode on a Killing Floor game. Let's try motion blur before I forget. Let's see if it looks good. Okay, it's a bit much for me, but it works. Yeah, it's not super distracting. The thing is, when I move the camera very quick, yeah, the entire image gets moved around, but it's not too bad. It's okay. Yeah, endless mode is basically until you die, you're killing enemies. Wave after wave after wave until you die. It doesn't end. Oops, out of ammo. Boom, headshot. Okay, I did it. Let's try multiplayer. If you like motion blur, I don't think it's a bad implementation. Although I can notice more jaggies around the gun, which makes sense because there is motion blur going on there. And the camera, when I move it fast, it's noticeable, but it's not distracting to me. Yeah, there's less artifacting. Yeah, it's okay. I think on the smaller screen, you shouldn't have a problem. If you tend to use motion blur to cover up the lower frame rate, on this game it's not distracting. You should be okay, especially on the smaller screen. Here I'm stretching the image on a big screen, so it's more obvious. Let's play co-op. Let's see what happens. This is the real moment of truth. But you should be fine with motion blur on this one. Let's see. But I do not recommend this at 30 FPS though. 30 FPS will be a little bit too low. I think 40s is a good in between. I wonder if I have Killing Floor 2 installed on Steam Deck. I played so much of that game, it's ridiculous. Okay, one of the things that I saw that people were complaining about is that there is no server browser. Yeah, for real. Let's put any. Let's see if I find any players. There is crossplay, so there is a good chance that I'm going to find someone at some point. I'm just going to change my class, sorry, my perk, to engineer. Why does it spawn me back to the beginning when I change my perk? Is it heating? No, so far so good. The The other doesn't heat up super frequently. I mean, the LCD Steam Deck is noisier, gets a lot more heat, but the OLED so far so good. It's not super hot here though. Okay, let's see. Let's see how it goes. I don't know how many people. I mean, there's very few people playing this game. So if I find a match with more than 3 people, it will be a surprise. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're 4 people. A radar station, perfect. On hard. That's what I was doing just now. So that's perfect.
This place was decommissioned over a decade ago.
Ooh, my CPU.
What was the military doing here?
My CPU is crying. Come on. You got this CPU. There you go. Nice. Okay, I think it was just loading something. This is the first time I'm playing this online.
Turrets up.
Oh, nice. Ammo bag! Okay, single shot. Okay, yeah, it drops a bit further. Patch Mafia old country. I don't know what else they could fix, honestly. It runs poorly.
Nice work, team.
The thing that would fix this game if they swap to backlighting. Entire backlighting. Because daytime is always the same in these maps, as far as I know. Yeah, 40s on Steam Deck. I was expecting 20s with these settings. Although due to the low resolution, you can see when the enemies or your teammates are marked, you see super pixelated versions of it. But that's probably due to the low resolution. Oof. I completely forgot about this part. That's freaking weird. But I'll allow it. But hey, I was expecting it to drop into the 20s with co-op. Because, you know, more enemies, more people fighting those enemies at the same time. It drops into the upper 30s, but this map dropped harder than the other one. What about XeSS at a higher setting? I mean, you could make it run at 30 FPS if you wanted to. Which I might try in a moment. I just don't want to make my teammates suffer because I'm looking at settings. Let me play a bit further like this, and I'll try. But if you increase XeSS, it's not going to be close to 40. It's going to drop pretty hard. Here we're barely hitting 40s when fighting, so we're borderline 40s.
Penny wise, pound foolish.
But yeah, you could put it on quality if you wanted to. The thing is, I think it's a bit too much. But it's working better than I expected. That's pretty funny. Ooh, extended. Extended canister. I mean, I don't really mind 30 locked. That's okay. That's more consistent, probably. Let's use those 40 seconds to change that. So in those 40 seconds, what I would do, I'll probably enable the reflections. Global illumination, no way I'm doing that. I would increase this a little bit. I would add those shadows, a little bit of draw distance, and yeah, something like this. Ah, with XeSS quality. That should give us 30 FPS.
Pod's about to shut down.
So this is,
Everybody done shopping? Hope so.
and this is mid-low. So yeah, you can go a bit higher if you don't mind 30 FPS. The CPU suffers less, at least. The GPU though, it cries. So this is an alternative if you want a little bit more of a visually consistent game. So there is more shadow casting lights, there is better draw distance, a bit more foliage. I think also the flashlight casts shadows on this mode, not entirely sure, but that's not important. You have a Switch 2 and you hardly touched it, you're primarily a PC gamer, then you're going to love the Steam Deck just because of the fact that the PC games you already have are going to work. I had a Switch 1 when the Steam Deck didn't exist, and I was like, man, imagine if this could run Steam games. And well, when the Steam Deck was announced, I was like, man, I need one. And it took a few months, but it arrived to my country. And that's the main issue I have with the Switch. Games are super expensive, and you're basically begging for game ports of old games. So at least on Steam Deck you can try it right away, and you don't need to rebuy games. Yeah, 40s on a UE5 game on Steam Deck is pretty impressive. Yeah, although I'll still do balanced XeSS. Personally, I'd still play Killing Floor 2 instead. Way better performance. And a more fun game in my opinion. Oh, and it has glory kills. What? I didn't even know that. Okay.
Open, team. Stock up now.
So before the timer runs out, quote-unquote quality mode, 800p, frame rate cap of 30 using the Steam Deck thing, medium to low settings, so we have some extra shadows here and there. You can probably get away with medium textures, but I don't want the game to crash. Screen space reflections, and balanced upscaling. You can also turn off reflections if you want to. That's optional. And lock it to 30 in here. And that's quote-unquote the quality mode. The GPU cries more, but the CPU has a better experience, so the stutters at least are less noticeable. And I'm playing with other players, so it's more demanding on the Steam Deck in general. But 30 FPS is not bad, if you are okay with a controller. It could be way worse.
30 seconds until closing time.
So considering it's UE5 and how it ran on PC, I was expecting significantly worse. Don't get me wrong, this is not like the best looking UE5 game out there. But it's decent when it comes to how it performs on Steam Deck. Do you see a big difference between balance and quality XeSS? I mean, if you think about it, we're talking about 800p, and it's 67% 800p, which will be quality, versus 57%, so 10% less. It's not a huge deal. I mainly recommend balanced because on quality there's some moments when it drops below 30. But that's again, it's optional. I just do it to have some room to spare on the GPU. What I do like about 40s though is that you get the 33% more fluid gameplay. I mean, it's 10 frames difference, but at 40s you feel the responsiveness way more. 10 frames at 30 FPS is 33% more frame rate, which is a big deal in my opinion. Especially on a smaller screen. I think you can notice it way more. But again, you take a hit to the graphics, which is to be expected. With the upscaling and low textures, looks like a mobile game? Yeah, you could say so. I mean, low textures are pretty pixelated. Not as pixelated as other games, but I mean, I think it's decent, all things considered. The game itself, though, doesn't look particularly great either on the highest settings, considering it's UE5. But considering how it runs on PC, I was expecting way worse out of the Steam Deck. But I'm happy you have the option to play either at 30 or 40, if you wanted to. Especially at 40, I thought 40s wasn't going to happen. After owning Steam Deck, handheld without trackpad is a no-go for you. I'm trying not to get used to using trackpads for that exact same reason. Personally, I use trackpads more to use it as a mouse when touching a menu on desktop mode. I miss the trackpads a lot when I try the ROG Ally, especially on a Windows device. On the Windows device, I think a trackpad is an absolute necessity. When it comes to traversing through Windows, there's no way I'm doing that with a joystick. But some people use it for aiming, and I use it to have more buttons on Left 4 Dead 2. Ooh, wrong button. You wouldn't care about the low graphics if you're outside and bored? Exactly. That's what I tell most people when they ask me why would I play this like this on Steam Deck. I mean, this is way better than no game at all. If I'm on a plane or on a boat and I can play this on the palm of my hand, I don't care if it looks like this. Also, on a smaller screen it's less obvious than you watching this video. When I put this on a capture card, it really highlights it in a more obvious way. That's why I try to show also handheld gameplay. But obviously it's compromised. If we're talking about a handheld device, sacrifices need to be made. Otherwise, it's just a home console with a car battery strapped at the back to make it work. Yeah, I mean, you want max out games on a Steam Deck. If you're buying a Steam Deck for that reason, then yeah, I agree. It's not a device for you. I mean, it's like expecting a Switch 2 running a UE5 game at native 1080p with high settings. Not happening. Even docked. But again, if you're buying a device like this, that's probably what you should expect. Otherwise, you should be looking for something else. What game do you enjoy playing off stream at the moment? At the moment, Breath of the Wild. I didn't give it a chance back then.
I'll take everything.
So right now, that one. But I also play a lot of... What's the name of this other game? I keep forgetting about it. I play it on PC. I have to check my Steam account, but... Oh yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw. That's the other one I'm playing right now. I'm trying the PS3 version on RPCS3 and the Repop version. Yeah, it was rough on Switch 1, but I'm playing it on Switch 2. It runs at 60 frames. It's fantastic. I used to play it on Steam Deck on emulator, but it wasn't 100% consistent. And if I have a Switch 2, I need a reason to have one, I guess.
The pod is now closed.
Okay, here we go. Oh, this person is playing on PlayStation. So crossplay does work. I love that actually one thing that I'm noticing. Ooh, it destroyed me. Jesus Christ. Thanks for the heal, sir. So as I was saying, what I was saying. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, the frame rate of the animations of the enemies are much lower on the low preset. That's what I'm noticing. So for example, this enemy seems to be moving at like 15 FPS, the animations. Especially when I'm like 10 meters away or something. But it's less obvious on the smaller enemies. Ooh, I couldn't see anything. I was about to say enemies are moving like 10 FPS. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was trying to convey, and I forgot. I forgot. That's definitely noticeable. That's probably related to... I'm not sure if draw distance. Maybe effects. But again, sacrifices that need to be made. Victory! Cool. It worked pretty well, actually. I'm pretty surprised. You haven't played a Nintendo game in forever. Last Nintendo game you played was Mario on NES. That was my first game, actually. Okay. GG. Yeah, I remember the nanny I had when I was a kid had an NES, and I was like, oh yeah, look, this is a Mario game, and I was like, I never played a video game. And she taught me all the secrets, like the secret 1-ups, the how to jump from warp from level 1-2 to level 4, and I was getting my ass kicked. I still use those secrets to this day. It was pretty cool. How good was performance? It was horrible on PC. Apart from turning off Lumen, there was not much that you could do. So yeah, for 30 FPS, I'll do something like this. 800p. Probably effects. Yeah, I don't know why the enemies were at 15 FPS, but something like this. Hang on, guys. Somebody's at the door. I'll be right back. All right. Welcome back. Okay. So as I was saying, for 30 FPS, I'll do something like this. When it comes to the enemy frame rate, I don't know what it could be. Maybe effects. I don't think it's shading. So let's try medium effects, I guess. I don't have much of an option. Oof. It's acting for 3 deaths on your door. Oh no! I forgot! Oof. I ran too fast. Let me try everything on low except in effects for 40 FPS. Oh, reflections, go away. Yep, that should do. And lock it to 40. So 800p, 40 FPS cap, everything on low, effects on medium. Maybe this affects the rate of the animations. And yeah, that's basically it. This is what I would do for 40s, basically. In the best case scenario. NES was such a vibe, a little kid I thought, damn, that looks realistic. Yeah, same. It's like when I played Pepsi Man on PlayStation 1. I was like, man, this looks so real. Oh my god. It blew my mind. It was like, this looks so realistic. It looks like real life. Games cannot look any better than this. Said Santiago at 6 years old playing Pepsi Man. What upscaling is the best for you? It depends. Generally, TSR works pretty well. Then XeSS, well, DLSS and FSR4 are up there. But when it comes to Steam Deck, generally speaking, either XeSS or TSR in UE5 games. You're playing RoboCop Unfinished Business. Nice. Yeah, in RoboCop, actually, either that one or TSR. The issue that I have with XeSS on the RoboCop game is that it's a little bit, it has a little bit of ghosting when particles, sparks show up. That TSR makes it squares, but in XeSS they are like soft moving things. Okay, yet another match. I'll change perks. Let's be a commando. Command and conquer. And let's see how it goes. And this guy is running towards the... He didn't load yet. Okay, it was loading the map. It's still loading the map. Okay, I think it got back there. Yeah. So definitely at 40 you're sacrificing the visuals, a bit of the resolution maybe. And well, the CPU cries a bit more. It's not 100% consistent 40s. But we'll see once I start shooting. Yeah, exactly. The RoboCop game looks fantastic, but sometimes it looks rough. Yeah. I mean, it's not 100% AAA, that one. But I agree. It's inconsistently looking good. Team Obscene. Obscene? Nice name. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. I'll keep it. I'll keep it doing it. I ruined it. Okay.
Restock now. Pod is open.
Yep. Pretty smooth. Yeah, way better than playing at 30, but again, many lights don't cast shadows on the 40 FPS setting. Again, if you don't mind about that, you should be okay for the most part. I'll just put effects back down. I think it's taking a little bit of a toll. Yeah. Yeah, that was killing it. But there's a reason why that option is demanding.
That ought to do it.
Yeah, it's a very well-made game, the RoboCop one. The thing with... actually, it runs decent considering it's UE5, but you can see that the developers have a lot more experience than before. They made the Rambo video game, which was horrible. Then they made the Terminator game, which I really liked, but it was clearly rough considering the IP it was representing. And then they made RoboCop, and it's like full circle. Oof, it's pretty rough here. Yeah, you know what, 40s seems good, but then you get to a moment like this when it doesn't feel smooth at all. So it's probably... I would still recommend the 30 FPS configuration, actually. At least when playing with other people. If you're playing alone, 40s I think it's doable. But when shit hits the fan like here, it drops into the 30s pretty easily. Oof, right away. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, it drops pretty damn hard here. Yeah, there is no shadows because I lowered them. Trying to get 40s, but 40s will only happen if you're playing on your own, definitely. Yeah, no. It gets better as soon as there's less enemies. And these people are obviously shooting more than in the previous match. At least I tried. But I think we're also heavily CPU limited. Yeah, almost a movie. When it was... shit was hitting the fan. I should also restart the game. That's another thing. But I'm pretty convinced after playing that part that 40s is not a good target. It will have to be 30s, but again, it's a UE5 game that doesn't run great on PC on a Steam Deck, so I shouldn't be surprised. Yeah, definitely stable 30s over 25 to 40. I agree. Oh, really? I cannot go through there? Yeah, definitely it drops pretty damn hard. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's more people on this one, that's why it drops. We're 6 people now. Okay, the other one we were 4. It makes complete sense now. That's why it drops. Okay. So if we're playing with more than 4 people, target 30s. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, it makes sense now. Yeah, of course. It's not like 50 to 75. Okay. So the 40 FPS preset, use it when playing alone or with other 3 people. If you're going higher than 3 people on your team, you'll have to lock it to 30. So I think the 30 FPS configuration is the best way to go on this one. Yeah, I thought we were 4 people, but we're 6. Actually fighting everyone. Although I should increase my mouse sensitivity. Yeah, I mean, look at that. When we're all fighting, the CPU doesn't like that. I'm saying the CPU because the GPU doesn't get fully utilized when I drop pretty hard into the 30s. We're definitely CPU limited when there is more than 3 people. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Yeah, I know. Okay, that explains it. So, okay, final thoughts on Killing Floor 3 on Steam Deck. Well, it's a UE5 game that runs horrible on PC. So the fact that I can actually play it blows my mind still. What would I recommend if you wanted to play this on Steam Deck? I would recommend locking it to 30 with the medium to low settings that I recommended before this. Unless, yeah, if you're playing co-op, I recommend you lock it to 30. If you're doing like, I don't know, 2 people or play on your own, you can do 40s with the low preset and balance upscaling. But it won't be 100% 40 FPS, especially when you're playing with more than 3 people. And there's a lot of enemies on screen, it drops pretty damn hard. And I would say one of the main limitations is the CPU when playing with other people. The GPU is also a limitation, but here I think the CPU is the bottleneck right now with these settings. So yeah, for matches like this with more than 3 people, lock it to 30, otherwise you can do 40s if you don't mind lowering the settings. But otherwise, I don't like Killing Floor 3 much. It doesn't feel like Killing Floor at all, but that's completely out of the scope of this video. So, would I play it on Steam Deck? Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind playing it like this. The thing is, the game is not very good. That's my main problem with Killing Floor 3. I don't have a lot of fun playing this. So personally, I would still recommend Killing Floor 2 instead. It's usually super cheap on Steam sales. It runs fantastically well on Steam Deck, which you can find a video on that of mine that I already did. I don't know how long ago. But other than that, I'm surprised that it works in the first place. So yeah. Yeah, and the whole Steam Deck is crying right now. I'm so sorry, Steam Deck. And yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching this live stream. People that are watching live, people that are watching this video, thanks for watching this video. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. But I said that for the video, so I'll stay a little bit longer to talk to you guys. When is Ghost of Tsushima video coming out? I don't know. I was lucky I was able to actually make this video. It's basically 2 live streams. And this will become a video next week, so I want to redo Ghost of Tsushima, but I also have Doom the Dark Ages. And I'm not going away, don't worry. I just said bye, so it got recorded for the video. But as I was saying, I have a lot of games pending, and I never had more work on my full-time job. So I have a lot of stuff planned, but executing is taking more time than I expected. I'm just becoming an adult, I guess. So yeah, I'll chat with you guys a bit longer. That's kind of the point of the stream, so I can talk to you guys as well. I'll try changing a couple settings before this explodes. Let's do medium. Let's make it cry for real. Medium settings. It enables lumen. Okay, medium. Oh, medium is significantly better looking. But it's just an experiment now. Oof, medium is difficult for the eyes. Jesus Christ. Try control with FSR4, even ray tracing is playable. I mean, control is no longer a new game, so I'm not surprised. Oof. Yeah, medium is way too hard. Damn! Sorry, I like suffering sometimes. Medium, 30. Oof. Medium is rough, guys. What would you rate this out of 10? You mean performance or the game itself? Yeah, it drops pretty damn bad on medium. Not recommended. Both. When it comes to performance, I would say it's a 5. And when it comes to the game itself, it's a 3 for me. It's a 3 because, well, it has the name of a big franchise. To me, at least, Killing Floor is a big franchise. I don't know. And but the game is not fun. It doesn't feel like Killing Floor to me. It feels like an attempt of making a Killing Floor game, but failing in the process spectacularly. And then calling this game a full game is also a lie, because this is an early access game. They don't even have a chat box. They don't have a server browser. I mean, it's barely early access right now, in my opinion. It just doesn't feel like Killing Floor, and at the same time, it's been 3 months since it came out. To me, it feels like an early access project. Yeah, UE5 slot version of Killing Floor. But it's not even trying to be Killing Floor, I think. Maybe performance XeSS at medium? Yeah, that could be a good idea as well. The thing is, there's 6 players. That's the big problem, I think. Ooh, I almost failed. Yeah, but I think I'll go solo again. It tries to be Doom. Yeah, also that's a valid concern. It tries to be Doom as well. So identity crisis. Yeah, that makes it even worse. You seen Killing Floor 2 on sale for like $2 the other day? That's the thing. Just go grab Killing Floor 2. Let me see if I have it installed. If I have it installed... Oh, I don't have it. That sucks. It's like 100 gigs. No wonder it's not installed. But Killing Floor 2 is worth it. Grab that one instead. Mostly negative on Steam, not surprised. It's a shame. This could have been so good. I was excited. Yeah, Killing Floor 3. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it on the store page, it's mostly negative. It got even worse reviews after the patch. Let me see, super quick, come on. Load that web page, Steam Deck. Or not, maybe it's because I have the game running in the background. Yeah, it froze. Oh no! No, Steam Deck, I'm sorry! Yeah, Killing Floor 2 is very positive. It's because it's a great game. Yeah, I made my Steam Deck die. Yeah, I'll reboot it. Three, two, one, die. Okay, I killed it. Will you test out the PS Cloud Stream feature? You heard it can now be used on Steam Deck without a PS5? Maybe. It's not a bad idea. The thing is, in my region, there's no PS Cloud thing. I do have a local way to do it. Yeah. F in the chat for the Steam Deck. Dang it! It's okay. The Steam Deck knew what it was signing up for. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. Reviews, mostly negative. So the recent reviews have been mostly negative. Should be Alpha Early Access. See, this is what I was talking about. Yeah. What a shame. Just get Killing Floor 2. Definitely. This is the way to do it. It's old? Yes. It's 9 years old. But it's fantastic. Runs great. It's a lot of fun. Super cheap once you get it on a sale. No reason not to get it. And it works great on Steam Deck. And while other games that I'm planning on testing in the future, the Dark Pictures franchise, probably not going to run well, but I have all of them. I plan to revisit Chronos, Sunset Overdrive, Rise Son of Rome, The Last of Us Part 2 PS4 versus Steam Deck, maybe Payday 2 at some point. I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. The thing is, I don't have a lot of time. I also got Pandora tomorrow to redo my Splinter Cell video. Kina, Hellblade 2. Well, the Naruto games. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to do. Yeah, the DLC weapons are meh, but no big deal. I don't use that stuff in Killing Floor 2. Also Body Cam. I completely forgot about this game. Yeah, there's way too many games. And I also want to do the Gunnar Resident Evil. This one is also pretty cool. So yeah. Yeah, Killing Floor 2 still looks pretty good, all things considered. Let me see if I can find... Oh, of course. Killing Floor 2. I made a video on Steam Deck for this one. I completely forgot. I did it last year. I'll paste it on chat so you guys can see it. But yeah, it runs great. And I also did some mod maps. One of them was like the Super Mario 64 first level. There's a mod for that one. So yeah, anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making my Steam Deck cry. This will become a video soon enough, probably next week. But I wanted to see how our latest, the game is fixed with the latest patch was doing. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys. Now I'm going. So thank you for watching, and thanks again to Tripwire Interactive for providing a code of the game, despite me hating on it all along while making this video. Bye guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.